I'm a diva. 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 I'm a
Na Diva is a female version.
Hi friends, this is Bamboo Love again with another 8th thought, and the 8th thought for this time is be a diva, walk like a diva, and talk like a diva, and love your body like a diva. And why am I saying diva? I think diva has been given a very negative connotation. It's this idea of someone who's all about themselves, who has these high requirements. Is usually associated with celebrities. Like I know Kimberly Simmons gets called a diva, and we miss out on the power part, on the part that she's an entrepreneur, she's a mogul, she's a mom, she inspires women. You know, she does her own thing. She has these multiple lines of clothing now. So let's talk about diva in a positive way. It's the idea that as women, we are in charge of our own lives. We've let society for a long time dictate how we're going to feel about ourselves, how we're going to feel about being a woman, and what we're going to do as being a woman, or what roles we're going to fill as being a woman. We all have roles to fill, which is fine, but it doesn't mean that you have to become those roles. It's just a role. That is not where our worth lies as a woman or as any human being. It doesn't lie in our roles. It lies in something higher and greater than that. It lies in the fact that we are this beautiful creation, each of us, men and women, even though specifically we're talking about women right now. Women, we're a beautiful creation. And a lot of the times we watch media, and of course I fall victim to this, or maybe victim is not the greatest word, but this affects me just as much as any other woman. The fact that I see other beautiful women, and sometimes I want to look like these other beautiful women, or I don't take care of my body the way I should take care of my body. You know, I criticize my body, I put my body down, and of course then my body starts feeling that kind of energy, and that's what it gives back to me. You know, if I'm giving my body, when I was younger, for instance, I used to smoke. So if I'm giving my body cigarettes, and I'm not telling you to stop smoking, but I'm going to tell you, if you are a smoker, you already know what cigarettes do to your body. I don't gotta let you know that. There's these negative causes, there's diseases that can happen from it. And not only that, but a lot of times, for me, I knew smoking was that it was going to fix whatever at that time needed to be fixed. It was a temporary band-aid. You know, I wasn't feeling good, oh, let me have a cigarette. And that first puff, I remember, was like, oh, everything went away. But it was something that I had to depend on. It wasn't like I could just be happy on my own. It was I needed something external to come in and make me happy. And if I didn't have a cigarette, then sometimes, you know how it goes. You don't have a cigarette away, you start freaking out. So that wasn't really taking care of your body, respecting your body, loving your body, appreciating your body for the sacred creation that it really is. I also suffered from an eating disorder at one point in my life when I was a teenager. Again, you know, it's not cigarettes, but it's very harmful, and it was harmful emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. You know, looking at yourself and thinking, man, you know, it's not just I'm fat, but I'm ugly, I'm not good enough, and I'm never going to be good enough, because that's a lot of times what happens with these kinds of disorders like anorexia. You're reaching for this perfection that is completely an illusion, because we already have been created perfect. You know, you don't need to look like somebody else, and you don't need to be skinny. You just need to look the way that you look. And I always tell, when I work at school with parents always tell me, you know, I want to be skinny. That's one of the things they want to do. They're a mom, they've had a couple of kids, and they want to go back to what they used to look like. They want to be skinny. And I'm like, you know, forget it. I say, forget about skinny. Think about being healthy, because you could be skinny and you're not going to be healthy. And what you're looking for is health. You want to be healthy, you want to be happy, you want to be a great mom to your kids. And that's what I mean when I say, you know, let's be a diva. Let's put ourselves as number one. Not in an arrogant, I'm full of myself kind of way, but understanding you're created by something higher than us, by something special. And that something special should never be ignored. And there's that term high maintenance, and that also has gotten a bad rep. But I think, you know, it takes time and energy and, you know, money also to look a certain way. And looking a certain way doesn't mean you're going to make that a priority. So it doesn't mean that if I don't look that way, I'm going to, you know, have a meltdown about it. But there is a certain maintenance that we have to put into ourselves, not just on the outside, but especially on the inside. Because whatever we take in inwardly is what's going to manifest outwardly. So taking care of our body inwardly, making sure that we're happy, making sure we're meditating, making sure we're taking time for ourselves, making sure we're aware of what we're putting into our body as far as substances, if it's cigarettes, if it's what food are we eating, what are we watching, what are we exposing ourselves to. So it's not just about food and substances, but it's also about the energy. For me, I know certain things kind of make me feel you know, certain things just don't make me happy, so I'm not gonna go watch that or on TV if that's not what makes me happy, or I'm not gonna go read that book if I know that something about me is not connecting to that, it's creating something negative inside of me. So you have to be aware, and each person has something different about them that helps them create, again, that space that I call inner ambiance. So making sure you are aware of what you're putting inside of your inner ambiance, and that is within our body. That is what encases our inner ambiance, our body. That is where it is. That's the physical form of it. The metaphysical form is something that we can't really see or touch, but our bodies, and that's why our bodies are so sacred and important, because it holds that spirit inside of us. So that is why we have to start taking care of our bodies. And it's important to do that in the morning. You know, take time to show up, to do your hair, to put on some makeup. One Not to Wear has this great 5-minute makeup routine that it always talks about, you know, and I think it's like concealer, mascara, some foundation, some blush. You know, to me, it's like very sad when I go somewhere, and I always give a prayer for someone that I feel like has not showed up. Even myself when I don't show up, because I think, man, you don't want to miss out 1 second of life not showing up. And you do that when in the morning you just, you know what, I don't care. Sometimes I hear that at work, you know, you work around kids, like, it's just kids, who cares what I look like around kids? And it's not about what other people think, it's about how you feel about yourself. Don't you want to feel spectacular and fabulous every single second of your life? And to me, that is what Diva is being about. Being, I don't want to say in control, but being involved in that, in love with that. So basically being in love with yourself. That's the way I love to look at it, and that's the best way I think to look at it, because you are something special, and you need to know that. You need to be aware of that. And there's this thing that Marianne Williamson writes, and she talks about it, and she says, you know, you were not created in sin, you were created in love. And that's important to understand, that you were created in love. You were not created being crap. You know, you're not created being like some random thing that someone just put together. You took some time, you were thought about before you even thought about yourself. So you're something very special. So why not walk that walk? Why not empower yourself to be a diva, to wake up and say, hey, you know what? I am the performer of my life. I am on the main stage of life. When those lights are shining on me, I want to be there 120% every single moment of life, because that's when life is going to be meaningful to you. That's when the miracles will happen, when life will change. So it's crucial for you to have your walk, and walk it your way. Because sometimes we're looking at somebody else and we want to be like this person and we want to be like that person, and it doesn't work. You have to do it your way. Mike Robbins talks great stuff about being authentic. I recommend all of those books. Authenticity, being honest with yourself, being who you are meant to be. Why do you want to be someone else? He says, why do you want to be someone else when they're already taken? Why not just be yourself? So walk your walk, empower yourself, be the diva that you were born to be. And I know for me, if you were to see me standing up, I'm 5 foot tall. I'm this little person, and it's taken me a long time. You know, I have these little legs. To not want for a long time, I'm like, man, if I could just have Beyonce's thighs. I mean, this girl has amazing thighs. Or if I can just have Salma Hayek's breasts, because I think she's got very good cleavage. But that's not me. You know, I'm not Beyonce. I'm not this fierce performer. I'm not this gorgeous actress like Salma Hayek. But I am me. And being me is pretty special. It's not that I'm better than them, but it's not that I'm less than them either. We're all equals in that way. We all were created beautifully. And that's the part of me that I need to enjoy. That's the part of all of us that we need to embrace and be empowered by that we were put on this earth to be, like I said, the performers of our own lives, to empower ourselves to live that life. And that is what it is when I say, that's what it means when I say, you know, be the first lady of your life.